It is the first major of the year and the first time we have played a major at this course. It is the PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell. It is also a Disc Golf Pro Tour event. We are so excited to be playing in the woods. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We are the two Hot Geese.
Honk. It's at the International Disc Golf Center. There's a cool historical museum here. There's also 2 other courses on the property, but we'll be playing W.R. Jackson, and we get to watch Kona, Panis, Paige Pierce, Catrina Allen, and Kristin Tattar attack the wide wooded fairways of this beautiful course.
Yeah, I absolutely love this track. It plays hard but fair. Gonna see some really nice lines today.
Hole 1 is a striking example of just how beautiful these fairways are. Really tall trees, not a ton of undergrowth, so you can scramble from the sides of fairways. It's a par 4 at 660 feet. You want to land your drive somewhere just past this little stump on the right-hand side, setting yourself up for a distance driver on your second shot. You can get to the pin here. I think we will see some putts for birdie, but these trees right here in the middle that we're flying through right now can tangle up your disc and force you to take the par. If you're out of position off the tee, it is really hard to recover, and that's where we'll see most of the scrambling starting.
Open champion, Kona star Panis.
Common plays to take the right side gap, pushing straight with a little fade at the end, but you can't throw a forehand or a turnover on the left-hand side and still land in the optimum landing zone. Here's the right side play.
Kona getting every bit of distance you need to get through that gap and progress beyond those final trees on the left.
Beautiful.
2021 USWDGC champion, Paige Pierce.
Thank you. Paige throwing a Zeus, I'm sure, on the right side as well. She won Worlds here in 2017. It was at 2 different courses, and this time we will see all 4 rounds here. A little early, and that's going to be that tough scramble like you were talking about.
All South Dakota 4-time qualifier, including 2021 PDGA Pro World Champion, Catrina Allen.
Who knows if it's the first hole jitters, but hole 1 played as the most difficult hole on the course for the FPO.
Interesting. I would have picked several others before this.
100% you guys will see why as we continue through this track.
This is a Proline Torrent. It's a super high-speed disc, but very controllable. Katrina's going to be throwing this a lot. It's a little early.
2-time qualifier, including 2021 Great Lakes Open champion, Kristin Tattar.
Love watching Kristin play.
Yeah, we haven't got to see her play in the woods this year.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of open courses. Mm-hmm. Also that shirt, though. She's throwing a Saint Pro, which is a fairway driver, and Kona threw a Maverick, which is also fairway. So saw a couple people go controllable fairway drivers and then a couple big distance.
So where Kristin landed is fine. We're still getting a 4. She will likely concede the birdie there. Paige forcing to pitch out into the fairway, and it's going to be almost impossible to save a par from here.
Yeah, that would be unbelievable, but she's known for doing unbelievable things. Ouch.
You can see getting out of position early, it is rough to get back into position to make the play. And this grouping of trees on the left-hand side.
Get all my trees out of the way on hole 1. It's a good attitude. This is a Grand Grace. Turned over too much, but that's totally fine. She'll be, what, 120 feet or something? Maybe 150? Katrina far enough that she has a pretty good gap and can get a decent amount of distance getting to that same road we just saw. Yeah, that's not too far away. Kona in a pretty prime spot here.
Having to throw a flex shot to get around that last group of trees, and it's got all the distance it needs.
Oh, beautiful. Let's see. Oh, interesting. That was a Lucid X Sheriff, so pretty stable distance driver. So she goes fairway, then distance. I like that. Stand up or get through. Almost. Rough start for Paige here. One last little crystal fierce upshot, probably running it.
Katrina lining up the hyzer around these trees. And she'll be just outside the bullseye.
Yeah, it'll be a good par from that kind of early corner position she was in. Little heart pitch up here from Kristin. Little tiny bit of work left for that par. That's the perfect distance to make, I think, to get your round started. Like, warm you up, but
Little
it's not
confidence
that
booster.
far.
Yeah.
But it's far enough that you're like, oh. Like, that's too short for a confidence builder. You know, like, you need one more foot.
Kona for birdie.
Oh, yeah.
She's one of only 4 on the day. Very impressive. Good birdie to get.
Yeah, it takes 2 just unbelievably clean shots. Hole 2 is 390 feet. Definitely a gettable birdie. If you get past this creek we're going to see here in the middle and get a nice skip, you're putting. Just a reminder, guys, checking out that top corner, we do have some 2 Hot Geese merch if you head over to gkprodisc.com/shop. Got some aprons, got some mouse pads, just the things you really need in your life, like the necessities.
There will be more to come as well, so stay tuned. Check back. We have stuff now, and we will have more stuff later.
Stuff.
Get your stuff. Kona throwing the absolutely perfect shot you want here, pushing that back wall of trees just like you want, and giving herself a look inside the circle for birdie. That's an absolute smash. 390 feet, and she was every bit of 360.
Yeah, that was her Royal Grace. Super smooth distance there. Just minorly jealous of everyone on this card.
Katrina narrowly missing those middle trees and slides down and gives herself a putt as well. It was a little earlier than she wanted, but it worked out.
Mm-hmm. This is a Grand Rive. This is a 13-speed disc. Oh, man, just needed to beat a couple more trees. She might have some kind of look just outside circle 2.
Catches that last tree in the middle and gets the kick to the right. She'll have a circle 2 bid for birdie.
This had to be one of the easier holes just because it's one of the ones that's pretty difficult to bogey unless you get a really bad kick.
Yeah, early left can be pretty gnarly, but other than that, this fairway is wide and forgiving compared to the rest of the property.
Like, it's tough to get the birdie if you're not in that elite distance level, though it's possible. But you're not going to see a ton of bogeys.
Katrina leaving it just low.
Kona looking for a birdie start. Also low.
And these are those distances Erika are talking about, the little confidence builders. They feel like gimmies. 25 footers, you're like, I should be making these, but...
Or confidence destroyers. Like, do I even know how to putt? Is this how I hold this disc?
A little window into Erika's mental game.
Oh, God. It's really strong, guys.
And we move on to hole 3. Par is good out here, and par is especially good on this hole. You want to turn your driver over to the right, but you don't want to turn it over too early because those last 2 trees on the right-hand side that we're passing right now can leave you with no second shot. You want to land somewhere around here and then work a hyzer, a surprisingly sharp hyzer angle through these trees and skip up to the green. There's a lot of different fairways for you to choose just depending on where your drive lands. There's a lot of options. We'll see a lot of different routes to the basket.
This one's definitely a little bit more about placement than distance. A lot of these holes out here are both distance and placement. This one you can kind of throw like maybe a fairway drive or something to the gap.
That was so good.
That was so good. That's if you could pick a place to put your disc, that's it.
Such a nice little right turn, gentle right turn at the end of the flight.
What was it? Oh, it was a Vandal, which is a little bit of an understable 9-speed fairway driver. Ooh.
Katrina getting the turn,
not quite.
but the height gives it time to fade. There are some little gaps on that left-hand side.
It's tough, though.
but
That
yeah.
early, you have to get a little sneaky. She might choose to kind of pitch back out onto the main fairway.
In years prior, the left side was not as cleared out as it is right now. It was in no man's land.
Let's see, this is a Gold Line St. Pro. Same disc she threw in hole 1. A little low and burned.
She beats those last trees, and she should have her second shot set up.
Yeah. Not quite as far in the trees as Katrina, but not ideal. Par's definitely in play, but birdie probably not so much. I haven't played this course since 2017 Worlds were here, and these holes, I think 3 through 6 are all new
Newer.
for me. Yeah. It's cool to see.
They put them in, I believe, in 2019, and they were rough. They definitely had some nice time in the last 2 years to beat everything down. It looks really nice. It's really coming along.
Oh, this looks good.
Wow.
Kona looking really clean overall. A little bit of a longer look. We'll see if she can build that confidence.
There were only 40 women in the division here. They capped it. They wanted it to be elite. They wanted the best of the best, only the people qualifying. And so we are going to see the best women in the world scoring here.
Yeah, I believe the idea is they invited champions, right, of previous events. So it was invitation only to start, and then very few spots left over to sign up.
And then one champion will get a cup, right?
I don't know. They might do it for the top 3 champions.
Great upshot from Paige. Super straight. She nestles it up right inside the bullseye. Katrina giving it a soft bid.
I like that left side floaty play. Kristin did a good job to get up here for a putt for her birdie. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful putt.
Circle 2.
The best. Man, that was so clean. Yes.
Yay, we get to watch GK replay. Doesn't even step it. Just full straddle putt from right around 40 feet.
Not with power like that. Beautiful birdie.
Kona for her birdie as well. A little bit longer. There's 3 birdies today. Jessica Weiss and Holly Finley also found 3s.
Everybody else just tapping into pars here. Par is generally good out here. I mean, it's generally good, period. But you're pretty happy if you get a bunch of pars out here, even if you don't get too many birdies.
I was thinking that par would be in the top 10. And you can see already that people are stringing together birdies, and it might go lower today than what I was guessing.
Yeah, the whole field is getting better and better, and take the top 40 of us and look at it. It's pretty good.
We have a lot of people sitting at 1 under. Lisa out to an early lead at 2 down through 13. Hole 4 is another birdieable par 3. This is one that you want to get, but it is by no means a gimme. It's a really tight fairway. This last little skinny tree on the right-hand side that the sun is shining on, you want to push that as much as you can, but still avoid it and let your disc hyzer sharply into the green. You still have to beat all of these trees, though. This is part of the fairway you cannot see from the tee, so you're just kind of throwing and hoping that your disc finds a way to the green.
You do have to push, I think, straighter than it looks off the tee. Like, that looks like, oh, maybe 2 right. No, it was. Dang it. I thought she was going to beat that one, and it was going to be perfect. But
if you go early, it leaves you with such
garbage.
a weird approach. Sometimes you can't even get to the green
no,
from there.
early left is so bad. And this, like, looks good, but that's a little bit too early.
That was a gracious kick, though. I think she'll have an easier time getting up and down where she landed.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot of trees to contend with, though.
See if Catrina can nail the line here. That's her bonsai. Mm-mm. Right's a little better than left, though. All right.
Even though this is one of the shortest holes on the course, it played as the 4th most difficult hole, and I think that's because it's one of the thicker undergrowth we see out here.
Yeah. It's weirdly technical. Like, it looks like, oh, just throw a hyzer, but there's more to it than that.
And if you catch a tree on the edge of the fairway, any movement off fairway is instantly adding a stroke.
Right.
Not a lot of scrambling to be done here. Katrina's going to prove us wrong.
Doing it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a pretty small gap and, you know, a foot either way, and who knows? Kona with a patent pending stance here. That was her harp, thrown with a little bit too much heat, but she's still inside the circle.
Yeah, and she'll have yet another comeback putt for her.
Good touchy upshot there from Kristin. Paige for her par. Our feature card ladies kind of working here to save their pars. Touched one little chain, but not quite.
Kona outside the circle for her par.
I think she's
she just inside?
Just inside. Yeah, she's frustrated. She's always working on her putt, and, you know, she switched to the straddle recently, and that tends to be where her, I don't know, main struggle
I support
lies.
that change, though, because I think it will pay off in the
I do,
long
too.
run. Kristin has a little meat on the bone for her par. No problem.
She's got that straddle dialed, though.
I'm surprised to see no birdies on our feature card. There were only 5 on the day, though, so maybe it's less surprising than I thought.
Yeah, I would have guessed just looking at it that there would be more, but I don't know. It's sneaky hard.
There were 35% bogeys and 13% birdies. I think we'll see that switch as people dial it in. Hole 5 is a 363-foot par 3. This is the tightest fairway on the course. Tightest and longest. It continues to be tight the entire way. Finishing out left is better than right side, but both are workable. This is one of my favorite holes on the course. It just feels so rewarding.
CTP on this hole wins a grill from RecTech, who is a partial sponsor of the tournament. That's where our players party was.
That's for all divisions?
Yeah, like there's 2 grills sitting by the MPO T-pad, and each field gets... Someone won a grill today. Great for touring. Okay, this is the Rift, which is one of Katrina's signature discs. It's a mid-range. She gets pretty far up there with it. Was a little early. She should par pretty easily, though. Kona with that Fusion Vandal, turning it over, but getting through most of it. if you can get through the initial gap and just get like 100 feet past that, par is like not the hardest thing. But if you kick early, it is the hardest thing. Paige also just getting a little sneaky here and getting way up there. I mean, she's got to look. Edge of circle 2. When I went through, Aria Castrita was the closest one, but it looks like it's closer than when I went through the CTP.
What a great shot from Kristin. The sidearm touch turnover, and it finishes out flat and even gets a little ground play towards the basket. That was amazing.
She went grace there. Like full driver, pan out, flex, forehand.
Wow.
Awesome. Great commitment.
That's really knowing your discs.
Mm-hmm.
Kona doing a little touch shot, a little chop. Love that.
That was a Sake Bomb Slammer, which is a kind of a new version of the Slammer, which is a very stable putter, like approach disc.
And the Sake Bomb Slammer is...
Ooh. Wow. Way
Big
to capitalize. She was a little like early off the tee on her drive, but doesn't matter. Count that big old putt. Let's see it one more time. Capitalizing on good luck is one of my favorite feelings during a round.
Ooh, and where's she? Like 45 feet?
Oh, no, she was like right at the edge of circle 2. It's got to be
Dang.
65-ish. She makes him look shorter, though, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Great par save from Kristin. The only one on our card under par so far.
There were only 3 birdies on the day. Stacy Ronsley and Aria got it, like Erika said. I think we could see more, but it's one of those fairways where if you're if you're off just a little bit,
I mean, honestly,
a lot can happen.
The fact that 3 of them got through as far as they did, it was astonishing to me. Hole 6 does have 2 different routes here, but most ladies are going to take this route that drone is flying on the right, which is kind of a hyzer. You want it to push pretty straight, though. If you fully hyzer out to the left, you'll leave yourself short without a putt. It does play uphill, so even though it's only 366, I think it plays probably 30 feet longer than that.
Oh, maybe even more than that. I feel like it's such a mash to get up there. And you want it to push straight, like on a slight hyzer angle straight.
It asks a lot. And this is a common error. Kicking early, left or right. It's so hard to save your par. Have you seen anyone take the left gap?
No,
Yeah.
I have not. Well, they were forced to on their second shot.
It doesn't count. And that was a decent shot from Kristin.
Yeah, she'll have a just outside circle 2 bid.
She's maybe not happy, but it was pretty good.
Oh, that looks
That
great.
looks really good. That's her torrent again. And that's like one of the best shots I've seen, and she's, what, 50 feet away?
40, 45, 50, yep. Kona putting the air under it that she needs.
Look at that. Nice and glidey. So lucid getaway.
Catches that stump, but she'll be just outside circle 2.
Pretty cool. That's a 9-speed fairway driver. I like that she's kind of like disking down and controlling her shots.
Paige working up that left gap and getting a lot of distance up that hill, even with a standstill.
I mean, she just made one of those, so she can do it again, right? A little farther. A little uphill. Do it, do it, do it, do it.
That was so good.
1 inch too high.
What a great recovery off that tee pad that's usually boga side.
Weirdly. Love and hate that. Oh, man. Did anyone birdie today?
This played is the 3rd most difficult hole on the course, and there were no birdies to be had.
Probably was the best chance we saw from Catrina.
There's surprisingly only 25% of the field with bogeys. I would have thought more than that
Me
because
too.
there's a lot of places to error here.
If you just get clean up to the top of the hill, it's a pretty easy pitch up. But
getting clean up to the
is
top
hard.
of the hill.
I did not do it.
I think a lot of the most difficult holes on the course come in the back nine, but hole 1 and this hole in particular I find especially challenging.
So did everybody else.
This is one of my favorite holes on the course.
Me too.
Hole 7's a par 4. This is a downhill tee shot. It's so much fun. You want to push those trees on the backside and hyzer out to this little sunny sand patch in the middle. If you can get a little farther than that, that's excellent because it really opens up your second shot and you throw over yet another big downhill gully. It goes back uphill on the second half of the fairway and the basket's perched on the edge of a slope. This feels like a fair slope, if that makes sense. You don't, I don't know, you can get rollaways here, but with the pine straw and the leaves, it feels like you can grab pretty easily. I just think this is one of the coolest holes in disc golf.
Yeah, I love kind of the shot shape that you have to do, and you have to put 2 really good shots together, but I mean, pretty much anyone in the field can reach it. Mm-hmm. That is probably a little right of where you're aiming for, but should be fine. It will make the second shot a little bit more difficult. There's really only one kind of hyzer gap on the second shot. That's the widest that you're kind of shooting for. Mm-hmm. So if you land anywhere that's not that sun patch you were talking about, it's pretty hard to hit that line.
Yeah, you turn into trying to force a flex shot, and because it goes so steeply downhill, you can easily kick way right and have not much to work with.
This looks good. It just needs, everyone's kind of pushing that back wall just a little bit too much, but that's the way to get distance on the drive. Like, it's better to push the back than to be short and being early. Yeah,
being early left is awful on this hole. It is so difficult to recover from.
I think this is a Raptor. I like the height. That's how to get a little bit farther on the drive. Oh, yeah. She's past the sun patch. Mm-hmm. That was ideal. So you can see how many trees are blocking you on this upshot. Just needs to get lucky.
Yeah, she was working the flex, didn't quite get over on it enough. She'll be at the base of the hill, and she'll be able to chip up real easily for a par here.
So easy to do in that patent pending stance is to overturn it. She'll have quite a bit of work left to do just to get her par.
Definitely. Kristin also having to flex something here to get there.
Oh, I like this.
She gets the turn, and she's
up there pretty good.
Yeah, she gets great fade at the end. She'll have a pretty steep uphill putt for her birdie.
I like that she went mid-range there. That was her claymore. Which is super versatile. It's really tempting to go high speed there, but with all those trees, you can get some nasty kicks. Fair hill or not.
Paige, in that wide open area where all she has to do is throw another hyzer, she doesn't quite put enough on it, and she'll be circle's edge at the bottom of the hill.
I mean, you'd still take that every time. It's pretty much how you draw it up. Touchy little shot here.
She'll give herself a putt, but it is a long one. It was a great recovery from where she landed.
Katrina's third. Perfect. Bullseye. Kona having to go forehand here. I think that's that slammer.
I didn't realize she pushed into the woods.
Yeah. Didn't really have an open look.
This played as a great hole for the FPO field. 25% with birdies. Oh, 25 with bogeys and 50 with a par.
I know she missed, but to get that much power in that wide of a straddle is so impressive.
It is so impressive.
I would have hit the ground right before the post, like in that stance.
And then fallen over too.
Easy.
After release.
Wow, okay.
We won't see any birdies on this feature card, but we will in the next days. This is one that you want to get.
Did you say, did anyone birdie this today? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
There was 25% of the field.
Yeah. That is really good.
That's great.
Hole 8 is a par 5, a little bit of a softer par 5, but plenty of trouble to find. A forehand is really the optimal play off the tee, though you can throw a backhand turnover. You want to land about here, kind of where that stump is. And then the right side is definitely the most open path to get to the pin. It does play a little uphill. There was a little flooding. The footing can be a bit tricky, and there's a lot of tree roots. So sometimes you just kind of have to get a little lucky to have really good footing to attack. Eagle is definitely in play, though extraordinarily difficult.
Yeah, this tee shot seems so straightforward. Kristin opting for the forehand here. I think that is the play. You want to push those two big trees that we can see her kind of flirting with right now, but you want it to finish hard right and not forward, because if you finish too far forward, it gets really tough and pinched off for your second shot.
That was a good shot from Kristin. This also looks really solid. Pushed a little too far, like you mentioned, but there's some pretty big gaps over there.
Just those two big trees that we can see right in front of us, those block out that little area. You almost want it to hyzer a little quicker than that.
Yeah. Paige showing us the backhand route with a fierce. And that's pretty well done, but often the mistake you see with the putter is you have to turn it over so hard to get it to go where you want.
Or just try to put it at the bottom of the hill.
That's true. That's a viable play.
But forehand, I think, is the best option for getting far down. Kona's a little early. She kicks right, and there is not much in there to work with.
Yeah.
She's forced to pitch out.
Definitely better to push too far than to be early. Let's see how she recovers here. Again, it is pretty easy par 5, so par is definitely in play, and it looks like she's attacking for the 4 still.
I don't know why. I think this shot is one of the most difficult on the course. That even
It
if
is
you're
hard.
even if you're in that landing zone, there's something about where the trees are and the shape that you're forced to hit that makes it so difficult to
And
get
the
a distance shot down there.
Footing and the
Yeah.
uphill, it's super hard. Like, what do you mean you don't know why?
I mean,
We listed
it's-
all the reasons in the drone flyover.
It just looks so wide. It looks like it would be easy, but it is absolutely not. It does play slightly uphill. I didn't realize till right now.
Yeah. Kristin does hit a tree, but birdie's still very much in play. Catrina way up there. Almost a circle 2. So we're going to have a couple of tap-in birdies here. Paige, let's see if she has much of a gap here. I believe that's a passion.
The leaves are mushy over there.
Yeah, again,
Definitely
that
difficult
flooding got
footing.
there.
Yeah.
At least it went straight.
Tiny tree
I mean,
said
she can
nope.
still birdie. Like,
Yeah, birdie is definitely still in play here. Looks like she's lining up that hyzer route, pushing those little trees, and they push back, giving her a bit of an obstructed putt in circle 2.
Kristin with a harp, absolutely parked. Tap in birdie. Catrina, touchy little putter shot, almost parked. Still inside the bullseye.
It's a little base action. Kona with a sidearm approach as well.
I believe that was that Saki Bomb Slammer again.
There were 3 eagles on the day.
Yeah, I gotta see one.
On your card?
Yeah, Chloe Alice. It was a pretty big putt too, circle 2.
Chloe Alice, Ella Hansen, and Henna Blomroos getting 3s on this hole. That's so impressive.
You have to have forehand and backhand power to get the eagle.
Yeah, you do. And you have to execute them perfectly. I'm wondering if Ella went backhand.
You're right. You don't. Okay, you don't have to. You can have super finessey backhand power, and then just plain backhand power.
And we expected a few birdies on this feature card, and we got them. Moving on to hole 9. We have a shorter tee pad compared to the MPO, and it is lovely because that MPO tee pad is brutal.
So hard.
Instead of hitting a gap initially, we instead get to choose right or center. Most people will choose this right gap that the drone is flying through. Your second shot will be down this fairway. There's a few you can pick from depending on where your drive lands. This right side is the most open, but there is also a smaller center gap you can flex something through and a left side that sets up well for a sidearm. Mostly it's just avoiding the trees on the second shot is what makes this hole so difficult.
Orbit Grace here. Love the feel of that Orbit plastic. It's a lot like Hybrid, which is my favorite. The flex in the disc is just unbelievable. And it's pretty. And that's really a solid shot. Anything past that road, you'll take every time for sure. This is her SP pipeline. And that looks pretty good. Just needs a little fade here. Yep. Beautiful.
Paige really releases again, but she gets sneaky down that left side gap, and she can still maybe even get up and down from there.
Yeah, for a birdie, I think. Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Kona with a great looking shot. Missing those trees in the center perfectly. She will be messing with the center trees. This is the only place you really don't want to land because there's a line of trees down the center of the fairway. But she will have a high zero look.
Yeah, you can work something for sure, but the footing can be a little weird, like the body position. Oh, this looks good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes up for that drive with an amazing second shot down a very tight fairway on the left side.
I think Paige is just showing if you are, you know, a little off on your drives, like W.R. Jackson does not let you get away with it. You need to be on point out here.
Yep, and you have to work to recover from it, and she did.
Katrina with an unfortunate tree hit there. She'll have to settle for the par at best.
Kristin sneaks through those center trees.
She's edge of circle there for her birdie. Kona going verdict.
Love that flex line.
Oh, yeah.
So
beautiful.
Good.
Up there for her birdie. Katrina, best in the game at that putter shot. Also, she'll just pad her just outside the bullseye stat. I bet she makes it. No, I really thought she would. She's made like all of them.
An inch short, but par is fine. 20% of the field with birdies, and I am not going to lie, that's more than I thought. I think the second shot is very difficult.
It is, but it's only 5'10", so it's not the distance and technical, it's just technical.
That's true. Great birdie recovery from Paige.
Yeah, for real. On Kona's disc list she sent me, she wrote, "Yikes." No. Oh, that one looked pretty good. It's just a little right side.
Hate to see it.
Birdogie.
Happens to the best of us.
Our card generally playing decent, though. Like, these are kind of the scores you'd expect. Maybe finishing, you know, like right around par, a couple under, a couple over. Yeah. We just need to hold out strong the rest of the round.
With how great this course is, there is not a lot of scoring separation. I think the field will be fairly close from top to bottom. I think there will be no more than 10 strokes from first to 40th. There's just a lot of work to be done for everybody. But I think everyone here is smart enough to not take a ton of doubles.
Look at how clean Kristin and Katrina are.
Wow.
Beautiful.
We see Kona, Paige with a little bit more colors on the scorecard. There is room to make birdies on the back, though.
Checking in with everybody else. Look at Holly Finley finishing 4 down.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. Kristin up there with Haley King, Missy Gannon, Evelina.
I'm calling it.
Alexis,
I feel like
2 down. Wow.
I think 4 will be hot on the day.
My guess is like 5, no one's ever going to do better than 5. That would be unbelievable throughout the weekend.
You guys check out the FPO VIP membership. This is new. That's why we only have 3, and we appreciate you 3 so much. It's $10 a month, and get your name on that list.
Yeah, support FPO coverage. Support your 2 hot geese. Thanks for joining us.
Support GK Pro. We'll see you guys on the back for round 1 of 4 at the Champions Cup.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We are your 2 hot geese.